The Indonesian government will gradually reopen Bali for international travelers on February the 4th, 2022. The reopening of Bali, however, will still be done carefully and gradually, as foreign tourists will still have to follow many procedures, including quarantine.
Pembukaan pintu masuk Bali hanya diperuntukkan bagi PPLN non-PMI. Selain peraturan karantina tetap mengikuti edaran surat edaran yang berlaku. Saat ini Bali juga menyediakan dua opsi tambahan untuk karantina PPLN, yaitu karantina bubble, dimulai di 5 hotel terlebih dahulu dengan total 447 kamar dan 6 kapal lift on board yang sudah tersertifikasi CHSE oleh Kemenparekraf.
And to discuss more about this, we are going to talk with the Secretary General of Indonesian Hotel and Restaurant Association, Pak Maulana Yusran. Hi, Pak Yusran. Thank you so much for joining us on Jakarta Movers and Shakers.
Hi, how are you?
Okay, but so amid the increase of Omicron cases in Indonesia, on the 4th of February, as we saw just now, Bali will reopen for international travels. Now, first of all, I want to ask you, from the association's point of view, do you think this is a sensible thing to do? Because the Omicron has been spreading fast. Although this is good for businesses, but do you think it is the right step?
Yeah, first and foremost, we need to look at the strength of each market segment from each destination in Indonesia. When we talk about Bali, then we talk about the destination in which every year before COVID-19 pandemic was one of the biggest contribution of foreign tourists in Indonesia, with approximately 5 to 6 million tourists from the foreign tourism per year. So foreign tourism contribution for hotel occupancy is 70%, which means that Bali foreign tourists is in order to recuperate in tourism sector. So in our perspective, we still have to optimist to open the border for Bali.
Okay, so you're saying we need to reopen the borders, especially for the recovery of the economy as well. But yes, of course, there's the danger or the
yes, of course, because
right. But there's the fear of the Omicron. Okay, please go ahead.
We know the problem now. It's the challenge for us to open Bali is the COVID-19, especially now we have the new cases for Omicron, right? But the other thing we still have to think about the economic situation in Bali, that they are depends on the tourism in that destination, So our industry, especially for hotel and restaurant, we prepare for all the health protocol and also the application like in Indonesia is Paduli Lingui, and also the booster vaccine to prepare our employee and also to protect our guests in order to prepare for the open border,
All right. So I guess to kind of mitigate the dangers from the Omicron variant, you're saying they're using the Paduli Lingui app, booster vaccinations, and so forth. But as we know, Bali is still level 2 public activity restrictions, which is the second lowest. So in terms of this, how are hotels and restaurants working to keep their customers safe from the Omicron variant, especially since Bali is level 2?
Yeah, the first thing that we should we have to do is like to follow the regulation for our government, right? Especially for the hotel industry to protect our customer. For example, like it's time our guests leave the hotel, that we have to sterile their room at first, and then another thing that we have to make sure that the hygiene and the cleanliness, and also for the safety, we make sure that it happen in our hotels and also the restaurant. So that's the most important to protect our guests to safe. And then the other thing is we have to make sure also for our employee. Our employee, we have to make sure that their health is should be okay to give the service for the customer. And the other thing also the most important thing is like the using the application the Paduli Lingui, because why the application Paduli Lingui is very important, because from the application we can take a look at the person or our guests, are they already have the vaccine twice, or also if they also has the COVID or not, that's the important from the application, so we can do the tracing.
Okay, but so I mean, from your perspective so far, not just Bali, but in other areas across Indonesia, from the Hotel Restaurant Association, do you think that the use of the Paduli Lingui app has been very useful in keeping the COVID cases out of hotels and restaurants, from what you've seen so far?
Yeah, it has to be very useful, yeah. But the problem is the commitment from the hotel industry and restaurant. We have to remind them all the time, Then we have to make sure that they realize if the case of the COVID-19 increase again, then we have to look back like last year, yeah, on June, the last time last year on June, the problem that we have to the government has to do the lockdown again for the economy, then, and that's not good for the tourism sector. So we have to do the every time socialize to our members,
Okay, so it's important for everyone to follow. Everyone has to use the Paduli Lingui app. Everyone coming in must check in with Paduli Lingui. But can you just reassure to maybe foreign travelers who might be watching this right now, will it be safe to go to Bali, and should they go to Bali now, after the 4th of February?
Of course, it will save, So we already tried for the domestic traveler already. So we tried since the fourth quarter last year. Everybody went to Bali. I mean, for especially domestic traveler. Yeah. Then we try to open the border. Then we try to have the foreign tourism also coming to Bali. So as long as the industry commit to follow the health protocol and also the Paduli Lingui, I believe they can maintain the COVID over there, So at least we have to try. Then we can move on after we already closed the border since 2 years,
All right, so what you're saying is previously when we saw domestic tourists coming in to places like Bali, it was still relatively in control, the COVID situation, because of the use of Paduli Lingui and everything, and we hope that it will be the same with foreign travelers.
Exactly.
Now, Pa, I also want to ask you, now with the reopening of borders in Bali for international travelers, how optimistic are you that this will increase business among hotels and restaurants in Bali? Do you think it's going to be a big increase in business?
Yeah, actually, we have to optimize. Yeah, open the Bali plan to open the border. Also follow the convenience regulation from the government to, for example, like the visa and also the quarantine. The government trying to make it more flexible than other like Jakarta. I mean, for example, Jakarta, the quarantine very strict. The person has to be in the room, in the hotel, but not in Bali. Bali trying to quarantine in the hotel area. So that's the flexibility that the foreign tourism will have if they come to Bali. Then from that convenience regulation, we hope that the foreign tourism will trying to start to come again to Bali, you know. But actually, if you talk about the ideal regulation is still too far from there, you know, because we compete with other countries that don't have the quarantine anymore, even foreign tourism coming to their country, you know. That's the problem.
Okay, speaking about quarantine, as we know, the Indonesian government have implemented a travel bubble in 3 regions, Batam, Bintan, and Singapore. From the association's point of view, how is the travel bubble different from, say, the normal quarantine procedures, and what kind of effect has it had on the hospitality sector as well?
Yeah, we talk about Batam and Bintan. Yeah, it's a very close border to Singapore, so their market strong is Singapore. So this is the unique from the Bintan or Batam area. So what I'm thinking about the travel bubble is very good for Bintan. You know why? Because Singaporean usually coming to Bintan every weekend. So they went to Bintan and also Batam. So I think the travel bubble is fit for Batam and Bintan. Then Singapore is the right destination or the biggest segment market for Batam and Bintan. So I believe this is a good idea to have the travel bubble in Batam or Bintan. You know.
Okay, Pa, just last question. Maybe just explain to our viewers, there's something called the quarantine bubble, and then there's a travel bubble. Can you explain the difference between the quarantine bubble and the difference with travel bubble and the effects it has had on the hospitality and tourism sector?
Yeah, it's the travel, the quarantine bubble, then the destination bubble, and yeah, they are different, yeah. But at least we have to try to make the strategy how to open the border very safely. So we doing the step by step to open the border. So our perspective from the industry, the strategy of the government is good, yeah, because we still have to protect the domestic traveler also, you know, because we don't want to have the lockdown anymore like last year in June. That's a big problem for our industry if they do that again, you know, especially for the Omicron. That's the thing that we have the perspective of our industry, you know.
All right, we want to avoid the lockdown again. It's bad for everyone, businesses and people alike as well. But as we know, Bali is going to reopen for international travel on February the 4th, 2022. Hotels and restaurants are prepared, as you said. Maulana Yusran, the Secretary General of Indonesian Hotel and Restaurants Association, thank you so much for joining us, Pa.